All right, everybody, what's up? Zach Mullins from the Grip Show, and I'm here in Wyalusing, Pennsylvania, with the Napalm, Jedd Johnson. We're going to check out his gym here. So, yeah, Jedd, anything to say?
Yep. Yeah, welcome to Peak Strength and Fitness. You can see the banner behind us. I've been down here since 2018. Prior to that, I operated out of just the house and the garage. So come on in, we'll look around. All right, so this is the main section of the gym here, and what I do for my business is I do small group training, mostly with like middle school and high school aged athletes, and then I also work with some adults. The training program has like zero grip sport stuff in it, but the grip sport stuff is scattered throughout the entire gym. So if we look over here, I've got most of my collection of inch bells here. There's a couple of my challenge bells in the truck because we're going to go to a contest tomorrow, and a couple of them are going to be used in the competition, so they're already loaded up. This is a 150, the green one, and that actually belongs to Clint, originally owned by Joe Sullivan. This is my 2-inch dumbbell that I ever got. I got it off eBay for like $250 from a postman in New Jersey. This is my first ever inch dumbbell. This is the Sornex inch, and I got that from Rick Walker in 2004. This is a shot loadable from Slater, and this is a Selene. So the weights are the green 150, the Iron Mind from the Postman is 176, 169 on the Sornex. This is loaded to about 120, and then the 172 Selene weighs about 174. This is a uncut next gen York 100, and what I do is I keep the Fat Grips Extremes on there to practice some lighter weight thick bar cleans every so often. Just this thing here is a 100-pound, what do you call that? Pancake?
Yeah, or I was going to say, I think it's like a Hampton or something. I'm not sure, or Hampton or something. I'd have to ask.
Yeah. It's Clint's,
one of the weight collectors,
it's Clint's plate, I believe. But it's down here to give Luke a chance to train on it. Now we're going to get into some more of the blobs. The Blobzilla's out because Luke was just here and he lifted it with no warm-up and didn't put it back. Darn him. So that's one of the earliest Blobzillas from probably like 2012, 2013. What I have here is an uncut Fat Man 100. So the other one's a next gen, and this is a Fat Man 100. My buddy Jerry Schreck gave that to me. I see there's some towels back there. My bad. This is one of my first blobs. I don't know if it was the actual first one or not. The first one that I got came from Rick Walker. I think that's the one that we call the winter blob now. I left that outside all winter long to try to get it to like season better, and what happened is it worked against me because like it got even smoother and tougher to lift. But this here, the York side, that one came right directly from York. So in 2004, I drove down there and I bought that from the company. And that was when they were still pumping them out left and right. But then shortly after that, they quit making them. Half 150 Shaw blob?
Yep, yeah.
And then, let's see. Quite the collection. And there's more in the other room. Half 145. I got to 2 pounds away from lifting that off the scale, and I haven't come close since. I believe this is a Blob Father, and I've lifted that and the Blobzilla together in the past. And that's the Shaw. Half 115. I think that's Luke's. We just basically have all of our blobs down here except for a handful that are at Luke's shop that he trains on sometimes. And then this is this is the other half to the next gen that's over there. So this is the number side, and then the next gen back there is the. Hey, let's show them what the difference between the Fat Man and the next gen would be. If you if you have the whole dumbbell, you can roll it over and look on the bottom, and on the York side, there's no print at all. You can look on either head, there's no print, in fact. But the print will be on the York side. So if we go back a little bit and look at that blob with the fat grips on there, you can see on the York side, it's got the USA print. So that's the easy way to tell whether you have a Fat Man or a next gen. Of course, there was one generation in between those called the blue blob. Whoops. Watch that when you come through. So as we come down, this is a blue blob. Now, I have the number side, so you can't use that as a verifier of what the generation is. You can see there's kind of a blue tint to the paint, and I don't know what would be on the York side of a blue blob. I don't know if it would be stamped or not. And then a couple of my other smaller blobs are back here. So these are like the ones that I pull out at clinics and stuff when people are just getting used to them. Get some experience. I've got another Legacy back there, and I'm not sure what it is. I believe that's a Napalm blob, which is the half 135. And then this is one of the new 150s. I think this is owned by Josh Culpepper. So I've trained on it like 2 days. Got a couple other challenge bells back here. Here's a 104 kilogram haul, which hasn't been touched in a while. It's got spider webs on it, but pretty nice season to it already. I've had it like 3 years. I think Chaz got a bell or two in that order. We went through Isaac Newton in Texas, got a whole load of them. And so we kind of did a group buy, and then he split them up and shipped them out to everybody. And then here's a one of a kind back here that's worth taking a look at. This is the 187 Death Grip Bell. So in 2016, right? That's 187? I think so. Maybe it doesn't have a number on it. I thought it did. But so we ended up getting a bunch of these billets, I guess you would call them, and we attached handles to them. I mean, I say we. I mean, Luke did all the work. But this one weighs 187.
For that bell, Jedd, how many people have lifted that here that you've had come through?
I think just me. Okay. It's possible that Eric Rusain did. There was one big challenge bell that Eric actually got like a good high partial lift on, and it was level. But I just don't remember if it was that bell or not. It may very well have been. I've only ever lifted that one time. My strength was there. Everything was lined up perfectly, and I was able to lift it to lockout, but I've never been able to do it since. And then this is the 207 Assassin bell. And this was at one time a Death Grip bell. So it had the heads on it that were just cylinder shaped. But what we did is Luke got some like hemispheres that he attached to the heads, and then attached the handle to the hemispheres. And this is the end product. So that's a 2 3/8 handle. And then the other Death Grip bells have 2.5 inch handles, and they're spread out all over the United States. There may even be some that went overseas. I don't recall at this point. As far as grip stuff, there's not too much more in this area. Did you have any questions on anything in this section?
Not really, Jedd. I mean, you kind of covered your 1st inch dumbbells, the years, the blobs. So most of that, I think, is probably pretty good.
I do have some globe bells over there that are on the bottom rack. Those are 50 pounds and 60 pounds. And my ex-mother-in-law actually found one of these 50s at a flea market one time, and she like kicked it around all over the flea market until they were done shopping.
That's a good find.
Yeah, she picked it up for next to nothing. So let's go into the grip room. So when I first started this gym, the idea was to do all the grip training back here in this room, and then that would keep all the chalk localized. But it's like really loud. When you drop something back here, it's extremely loud, and I hate loud noises, so we ended up just moving out here, and that's why everything's all dusty. But the only thing that we do out here in the classes is the pull down and push down stuff on this cable machine. And actually what I'm going to do eventually is move it back out to where it first was in that room, and then bring the reverse hyper that's out there in here, because I don't have a lot of my clients use that reverse hyper. I do have them use this, and it just keeps them out of here, and they don't have to keep on coming back and forth. But there's like, I mean, if you just scan around here, there's like a little bit of everything. I will say that just because I own something does not mean I use it. Perfectly good example. The Titan telegraph key from Iron Mind. I have this. I even have a few videos up on my channel from like 2008 using it. That's probably the last time that I actually used it. So please, if there's anything that you see that I have and you want to know if I recommend it, just send me a message and I'll be honest with you whether I think it's useful for you or not.
So Jedd, when you were first to pinch, 245s in both hands for the deep dish old school Yorks, you're saying that the Titan's telegraph key was not the reason that you pulled that feat off?
Absolutely not. Nope. No.
I wasn't sure if that was your secret weapon.
Yeah.
I was messing around.
So if we start on the floor, this is a circus bell that my friend Robbie made me. And Robbie used to do my fabricating before Luke started doing it. So it was like 2016. You can see here, Luke has helped me out tremendously in this gym, by the way. I don't really give him enough credit, but he installed these shelves here, and that enabled us to take all the handles out of like totes and boxes and put them on the wall, so they're a little bit easier to get to. So there's a variety of rolling handles here from all the various companies. There's also, non-rolling handles such as some of the thumb blasters. There's original wrist wrench, the wrist wrenches that Luke makes now, pinch blocks, the Country Crush style implements, bull rings, one-hand nightmares, hubs, grenades, grab balls, more stuff up on the top shelf, fat grips, gold bar. I'm not even sure what that thing is over in the corner, the half moon deal. My extra barbells are in the corner there. Do you see any handles that you're maybe not super familiar with, Zach?
Maybe this metal one with the bolts on it by the RGT.
Right here?
Yeah, that one.
All right, so that's a pretty cool handle. That's one of a kind as far as I know. There was a kid that used to train with me named Dylan Merritt, and he made that handle at school. He crafted that at like a welding class or something like that, a fabricating class in high school, and he left that here. And that actually was an entrant in the Hard to Handle Challenge back in 2020. So if you don't know what that is, I've got a complete playlist for it. So in October of 2020, I decided to test out 20 different handles to see which one was the hardest handle. And the winner ended up being the single-handed Country Crush. I guess it's called a Raptor. It's 2.5 or 2 3/8. Second place was the RGT. I'm just not seeing where the Raptor is right now.
I think it's behind that Country Crush, the two-hand.
Yep, it's over there.
Yeah, so that'd be...
It's back there behind
those two. And then, is that an older Rolling Thunder?
Yeah, that's
on
one of
left?
yep. Those are both original style Rolling Thunders. I can get back there.
No, you're
Let
good.
me
Yeah, no,
here. You hang out right here. I'm just going to turn on the lights. A little bit different light combination. Might be able to see a little bit better. So just climb right back here. So if we start in the bottom, I think that's called the Payne or something like that, from Jason Payne maybe. Luke makes it. It's made out of like signpost, I think. I don't know what you call it. This is the double mini inch pinch, 2 original Rolling Thunders, one of the Raptors, one of the smaller ones, Country Crush. This is called a Tombstone. It's for training plate curls.
That's a pretty cool handle there, Jed. I've never. I say that's something I should have.
That
probably
Tombstone.
asked about. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I like that one.
Yep. Wrist wrench that Luke makes. Iron Mind pinch block. 2-hand tips tester. Underneath there is the handle from Jokabug. The Jokabug rolling handle.
Yeah, I think the only other time I've seen something like that was at Dingy's.
Yeah.
Jason has one like that.
Yeah, there's a few out there. A couple more wrist wrenches. This is called a overhand wrist roller. Or Luke might call it something different. This is the knuckle from Grip and Lift. A couple of the crushers here. If we go up, little bighorn. This is the Luke crusher. This is one of the early things that he made, and it's 2.59 inches, so that's pretty tough. This is like my main training handle. I think this might be a vertical cannon, another crusher, 1-hand thumb blaster. This is something that W sold me. He said it was a Rolling Thunder replica, but it's actually got like a knurling to it. So I've never seen anything like that before. This is the Menino handle, not that one. This one. Put your hand out here and hold that.
Okay, yeah, heavy.
Really
heavy. Like a crusher almost, or solid steel.
It doesn't have the best action, but it's real heavy in your hand. More thumb blasters. Another cannon style thing. I don't know what that's called.
Anaconda, I think.
Anaconda.
Right. It's like customized to your hand size,
yes.
I think, or something.
Yep. Exactly. This comes from Jason. Man, I can't remember if it's Gillen or Gillen. I always mess that up, but Jason Gillen's Power Gym. So it's a pinch block on top, and then a hub on the bottom. I don't know how many are out there. I'm not going to bother hanging that up right now. So if you go up here, I think this is just something Luke made. It's like a thick bar, but it's non-rotating. So you can lift way more weight. So you can strengthen your open hand. A couple of the newer Rolling Thunders, they still don't roll that good. Don't recommend them. I got to tell you, I can't remember what this is called. It was sent to me for the second second hard to handle, and I never ended up doing it. Logan lift. I don't know what this is called either.
Probably like an ingot or something.
Ingot,
something like that.
And I think when you flip it over, it's the Vinget. Another thumb blaster. There's the Raptor again. This is a trilobite. Some stub deal from that company, Mammoth Grip or something, that went out of business. Another pinch block, thumb blaster, this coin thing from the same Mammoth company, another trilobite. That Merit handle that I talked about, the RGT, 2.5 jug.
You got those hubs hiding out there too.
Oh, there they are. I knew we'd eventually find them. All right, we got a couple stirrups from Barrel, one of the Rogue grenade things, and I had 2, but the first one I gave to my buddy Eli so that he could train for the grab ball when it was in King Kong the last time. His bitch ass never showed up. These are the grandfather clocks from Rogue. I found this, or maybe won this. What I mean is I did win it. And I found it in a container not too long ago, so I just hung it up here. But it's like a coin lift type deal. But I don't know where it came from. I can't remember. The 4-inch bull ring, one hand nightmare, another one hand nightmare, another rolling thunder. I think this is like a double barrel shotgun or something like that. I'm not sure. 5-inch bull ring, gigantic like 4-inch Raptor handle.
Yeah, what are you even doing on that? Just like thumbless work?
I've been just collecting dust, just collecting dust work. This is a cool handle right here. This is the LGC handle. It was gifted to me by come back to it. I'll remember who it was. But this is a great handle. Really, really smooth. Really good action on it.
I was gonna say you got your Napalm stuff down here. I mean, obviously
got some Napalm Nightmare handles. Yep.
Kind of hanging out. Sledgehammers.
Person is his last name. I can't believe I'm forgetting his last name. Longtime grip. He was like involved in grip for years before I even knew about it. Just extra handles and attachments for stuff. So, questions?
Not only that, like I said, the tombstone and some of that stuff was kind of new to me.
Yeah.
For the homemade handles and stuff.
Yeah, the way this works, this tombstone, so you can hang weight, you attach weight off of it, and then it has the rim for your thumb, and you can perform your plate curls. Gets a lot of use, as you can tell.
Who did you have make that? Or
man, I think Chris Rice made that, if I remember correctly. We can't leave the room without looking at some of the blobs and block weights. So just start up top. We got a red pill. So I own a red pill, and then one of them is Alan Hynek's. And I don't know right now just by looking at them which is which, but I still have Alan's from like 5 years ago. These are a couple of the first hex block weights that I ever had, long before I ever got a blob. Half 115, half 110. And this 115, I don't know if you can see or not, but it's got a slight like angle. It kind of bows out on the side, so it's a little bit tougher. Oh boy, let's see. This is another blue blob.
I didn't know you had two of them.
I forgot I did. This is the inside of a dumbbell head that used to have rubber on it, and Mike Rinderly chopped all the rubber off of it and brought it up here. It's a fairly easy pick for me, but it would be a good challenge level for a beginner. This is what we called the winter blob. This is the original blob that I got from Rick Walker for $40 and lifted it the first time I saw it in the Olive Garden parking lot. This is a half 115, and that's called an Impossible blob. And for a while, nobody was able to lift that. I think Heath Sexton was the first one to lift that one, and then I was able to lift it. I've since done a double. I have two of them. This is a half 90. I'm not really sure what the story is on that. This is a stronger grip, loadable blob. Again, I don't really recommend the stronger grip simply because it doesn't match the size and shape as well. I think there's just other better replicas out on the market that'll carry over better to blobs. Half 110, I don't really remember the story on this one. That might be Luke's. Or someone might have gifted it to me. Unfortunately, I don't recall. This is a 24 kilo haul. Another red pill. So these come from Paul Jeanette, and I think you can only buy them new on eBay. And it says PJ for Paul Jeanette, hand weight. And then what do we have here? I think this is a Robo Blob. So I had some replicas made at one point. Or is this a Fat Man clone? This might be a Fat Man clone.
I say, Jed, that one down one shelf is shiny. That might be the Robo one.
That's the Robo Blob right there.
Yeah.
This is a Fat Man clone. This is real heavy. I think it's like 58 pounds. And then the Robo Blobs are like 54, something like that. Half 140. another Blob Father. This is another clone.
Yeah, so those two up there are the Fat Man clones.
Yes, right here and right here.
Yeah.
This one and this one. And one of those is actually Paul Knight's. This is the handle blob. I think actually that this is Paul Knight's also. So if we look at the bottom, it's a York side with no stamp, which leads me to believe it is indeed the Fat Man style. And then, a Blob 50. I forgot I had this. I bought that from somebody. I'm not sure. Half 130 iron grip. I believe Clint landed this and brought it down, and it lives here. One of the original iron grip monsters, the half 125. Again, the the Robo Blob. This is Chris Andrade's block. It's a half 100, and it's the chalk on it, or the paint on it is really tough. It's really, really tough lift.
I feel like those hexes always vary a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
The shapes are always different, the weights, the
Yes.
textures. So, yeah, you could run into one that's like the easiest you've ever lifted, and you can do another one and no one can pick it up. So,
Yeah.
and then they'll be the same increment,
Yep.
Sometimes they're pretty wild.
There's a half 100 hex hiding back there. This is a half 120. Luke made this shelf for me too, by the way. I think this is the other side maybe of the half 120. It's the cap. This is another half 120. And if I remember correctly, this 120, the 115, and the 110 all came from the same gym. They were actually just broken heads. And it was Elmira Fitness back in, we're talking 03, 04. And he's like, yeah, take them.
I know those are just hexes, so they're not like Yorks, but you're telling me you weren't with the evil guy that's cutting up all the weights to make your block weights?
No, I haven't cut up too many hex heads in my life. Most of the ones I have, someone else did, or they were literally broken.
You ever cut many blobs in general, or just
I've
found
cut
it that way?
Legacies mostly.
Yeah.
I think I've only ever cut one actual York 100, but it was when they were still selling them. They weren't rare.
Probably like 15 years ago or something.
Yeah, it was 2004. Yeah. We've got another handle blob back here. So this is a handle blob this one belongs to Paul Knight. I'm pretty sure.
So both handle blobs? Or is that the same one you pulled out earlier?
The other one's up there.
Okay.
So I made that one. I'm pretty sure I made that.
Okay, so this is Paul Knight's here, you're saying?
So this is Paul Knight's.
And how long have you been borrowing this one?
Oh, 10 years. Easy 10 years. Yeah. And then there's another broken head dumbbell down there, and that's actually the Renderly one right here. That might be the Renderly one. I get mixed up. And there's another 120. It looks like another 120. Great collection that just doesn't get used anymore for the most part. And then this is a glob. I think it's a half 60. Pretty sure. That's a tough pick. Really tough. Pickaxe. A lot of people probably haven't seen a pickaxe.
Yeah. That was actually in the I think you picked that for the
this was my medley item in Nationals
item for 23.
in 23. Yeah, so this is straight from David Horn. And the way this works is, this is about 11 and a half, 12 pounds. So you grip it back here behind the handle braces. And then you balance a shot ball here. And you have to pick it up, and you have to lift it higher than 30 inches without the shot ball coming off. So that was like 2014, 2015 time period. So pretty cool device. Luke has had the world record on it. I've had the world record on it. And I think we've both zeroed in competitions on it as well. The gripper cabinet. You've probably seen this. You may have seen this in other videos because I've done a few videos out here. The ones that we use the most are actually in the chalk tray right there, so they've been taken out of their assigned spots, but pretty much have grippers from 54 pounds all the way up to 224. And then these ones are all like either the handles are thicker or the handles have been modified.
So it'd be like filed grippers or like bear bands or something?
Yep, exactly. So these ones are fat bastard grippers that went back when John Beatty owned the company. And then this is a bear band. This is a bear band. This is an Adam Grips. And that's an Adam Grips. And then these are a couple of the Teddings that had the, what is it, 3/8 handles?
I'm not sure on
they're
Teddings,
smaller. So like you can see that, like if we compare two Tedding grippers, you can see that these are smaller. The handle actually fits into the flat spot inside the bevel pretty much. So that's a Supermaster spring, and this is a Grandmaster spring. These are the filed grippers that I have. This was cool. This was we got these personalized. I have a Napalm also. It's not that one, but they were ordered from Bear Band back in 04, 05, something like that. Pretty rare gripper. This is a hand pressure or finger pressure gripper that Joe Musselwhite made. I bought that off of him. It's made from a Tedding gripper. I don't know which one, but it's for squeezing like your arm wrestling, so you get that finger containment strength.
Yeah, that's a cool setup. I've never seen a gripper like that. This
is the gripper that in your recent interview with Jeff Peterson, the Double Cut 3.
Okay, yeah, I remember bringing that up.
Yeah, I was never able to close it. He sold it for like $20. He's like, yeah, I got this Double Cut 3. I don't think anybody will ever close it. I was like, interesting. So I don't know if I have any. If I have any rare grippers, Zach, I would say it would be these two PDAs, which I bought from PDA, Piedmont Design Associates, back in the early period, like 2003. So you can see that they have the stamps on there. PDA 0102 and PDA 1225. And you know what? I don't know. I don't know if that has something to do with the spring size, what the spring's made out of. I'm not sure. But back in the day, you could use these as in-between grippers. And it worked out pretty nice. So this one rates 125, and this one is 122. Aaron Corcoran modified this one. He repinned the handle so that it would get closer to the 120 rating.
I'm saying, I know a lot of people nowadays, I mean, Teddings are a big deal, and especially if you have thin-handled ones. So you said you don't have any of the rare ones, but
they're rare now. When I
But I mean, now people are selling
hundreds of dollars.
Well, right? GHPs and other stuff for several $100 sometimes.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Up here we have the Doob Cube in the center. This is the Bloom from
John Oka?
Yeah, John Oka. I couldn't come up with it. And then the finish ball. So, before I started Grip, I was into Strongman training. So I have some Strongman equipment such as that log, farmers, stuff like that. You just don't see me doing it much anymore.
There's still a lot of old videos, though.
Yeah.
With you, doing all the stuff.
Especially the log. I love overhead press, so we'll get that out every so often. Up here, looks like there's another Doob Cube. I think that's called a fence post.
That's a David Horn handle, right?
Yeah.
Fence post.
Yeah. This is, it's from the same guy that does the ingot. It's like one of those real minimal hubs The
Is it
Evil
like
Hub.
Evil Hub or
something.
like, is that grab hold or something? Or is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just making sure.
But I think at the
I've seen him
time
before.
Luke was making. I don't know if he does anymore. If he makes the equipment for that guy's company or not. I guess this one is actually the fence post. That might be a replica over there because this says World of Grip on it. These are pretty cool. These are grapple grips. I got these as a sample in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, but they're real nice, high quality handle, and they come with this hook, so it goes in there like this, and then you can hook it onto a pull-up bar and do your vertical grip pull-ups. They just never caught on. All right, we got tips testers, napalm handles that are offset, flasks. One of these is the Stockton Slapper, and then one of these is a Handshake, and I don't know who makes what. One of the maybe Moon Tops, I guess. We didn't cover those on the first time through. Got some other stuff in this bucket. Nothing really to highlight. I got more grip equipment than you can shake a stick at, but like I said, I don't use 10% of it, or I only use about 10% of it. So we got the Anvils over here. So some dude dug this out of his yard and put it up on Marketplace, and Luke and I went down and grabbed it one time. This I got from Rick Walker when I bought all of his equipment in 2006. That's an anvil that is basically on loan to me, and then the guy moved away and I don't have his contact information anymore. The anvil that's under there, can you see that?
A little bit, yeah.
I can get to it. So that's like a 64-pound anvil. My uncle, before he passed away, used to have a business where he would go and tear down barns, like old farm barns or storage barns and stuff like that. And what they would do is people would pay high dollar, top money for those barn boards because they were so seasoned and pretty. And so my uncle had a team, and they would go down there and they would pull all the boards and disassemble the whole entire barn, and then they would resell all the boards. Well, in one of the barns, he found that anvil, so he gave it to me. It's pretty cool too. It's a decent pinch, and we've done different stuff with it where we added weight and things like that, and got a couple good feats out of it. And here's a 55-pound anvil, and I can't remember. I don't remember who made it, but my buddy Dan Senadoza gave that to me, and he was at the first grip contest that I went to, and he actually beat me in that contest as well. So, bunch of stuff here. I mean, it's not really grip related. Some of the stuff is cool. Of stuff. But I use the dog bone and the cannonball primarily for the grip training for my wrestlers. What I've found is the grip sport stuff is just not a great use of time for training grip for athletes. So for wrestlers and football players, I'll have them do pull-ups and pull-downs on the dog bone and on the cannonball to train that crushing, not crushing grip strength, but like the act of crushing in for wrestling and tackling and things like that. And it's worked out really well.
Yeah, so Jed, I know most of the stuff's covered in here.
Mm-hmm.
You have two sets of York deep dish, right?
Yeah.
The original pairs you pinched?
Yeah.
So, I mean...
they're out here.
Yeah, I was going to say, we could check those out.
The Rogues are right there.
Okay.
They're on that tree.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured those are pretty cool plates. I mean, as far as the feet and kind of training for trying to do a double lift with them and everything and all that. So
these are the international weeder plates that every once in a while you'll see Luke trying to clean them. So that's going to be an awesome feat when he gets that. And then these are, I don't know if these are Hampton.
Might be Hoffman, maybe.
Hoffman.
I feel like that logo might be Hoffman. Like I said, I'm not a...
I got these from Rick Walker when I bought all of his equipment. And they're 45s, but they weigh 50. So it's pretty cool. So this is the set of old school Yorks that I don't know if you want to come around this side. I got these old school Yorks from Dave Morton. So he's one of the original number 4 closers. And we forget what the exact deal was, but out of scrap from where he worked, he made us a log and farmer's handles, and we got those plates from him. So, you know, I thought it would be cool to pinch them. Took me years and years to finally do it. I think we got them in 2004, and then I finally pinched that set in, I think, 2013 or 2014. Now, a little bit after I got those, we were at the Juniata Strength Clinic one year, and Coach Doug Smith had these plates inside this. He had this thing that was like slant boards, and he had kids just like do different stuff on the boards to stretch their ankles out, and they would like kind of jump back and forth on them. It was kind of like that initial challenge in Ninja Warrior where they have to jump back and forth, whatever that's called. So he was using these weights to hold those boxes, those angled boxes down. So we saw them in there. We knew how rare they were, and we asked Coach Smith if he would mind trading them to us. So that was like 2004 or 2005. And then the next year, we brought plates to replace them, and then we took these home with us. So, and that's the 2 pairs of old school Yorks that I pinched in 2016.
So from the time you got them, what year did you say you got them again? Or?
I think the first set was 04. Pretty sure. Yeah. We drove to Maryland and met Dave Morton and brought him back with us. It was a nice road trip.
So it was quite a while for you training the double lift.
Yeah. So it took me 9 years to do the first set. And when I say that, it's not like I was training for 9 years straight, but I would do blocks where I was like for like 3 to 6 weeks, really intensely training it. And then a contest would come up and I'd have to switch my focus. So, and then in 2013 is when I did the first set. I was able to do one in each hand. I eventually could go left and then right, or right and then left. But then I was like, I really got to get serious and do this double lift. So I think just at the beginning of the year in 2016, I kind of made a commitment to it. Of course, there's not a lot of contests at the beginning of the year. And I think it was March of 2016 when I did this. I could be off by a month or a year or something like that. So,
and then for that feat, Jedd, I know there's numerous people that have pinched them as far as one set. Mm-hmm. People that have done the double lift with both sets. Would that just be like you, Chad Woodall? And
that's all I can remember right now.
I can't think of another name off the top of my head. Yeah. Not saying someone didn't do it, but as far as a pair in each hand simultaneously lifted, I believe you and Chad Woodall are the only people I've seen do it now. Yeah. I know they're tough plates, and maybe there's more that if they got their hands on them, they could. I'm sure
I'm sure he would be able to do this, no problem. Mm-hmm. He just doesn't have the plates. And frankly, these plates are, especially the first set, are very, very rough. You get a good grip on them. These, the ones that I got from Coach Smith at Juniata are not as rough, but pretty good grip on them. I've seen, like, for instance, Batters in Dubai, his plates, there's no chance of
just
me
slick
pinching
with
them.
paint or whatever.
Super slick. Yeah. The chalk doesn't stick. I mean, you can get some good chalk base on there. So, yeah, makes a big difference. And then the rest of this stuff, man, is usually is really just like hit or miss.
Scale weight, kettlebell, just miscellaneous.
Yeah, I mean,
reverse hyper.
A lot of this stuff is out here to hold my reverse hyper down because I put so much, just tremendous amount of weight on this. It just came back earlier this week because all of the welds broke. All of the near side welds snapped on me, so Luke had to re-weld everything. and then he put the braces here to reinforce everything. So sometimes when the equipment encounters napalm, it just can't handle the truth.
Buckles under the pressure.
It buckles under the pressure. It's just how it is. So you take that. You take it in stride. You have to.
Or did you have 500 pounds on there and you were just swinging it all momentum trying to break
500 or 650. Yeah. But like, I really love this equipment. I got mine from Titan. You can buy it from wherever. I got a great price on this from a guy in Hershey when I was already going to be down there for the state wrestling tournament that year. So, but it's supposed to be really good for your back. So I try to do it. I try to do it like 4 times a week, really, to keep the back injuries away.
Then really, Jedd, I say probably last thing, maybe that's your neck machine in the corner, right? Which
yeah, I got that for $50 from a gym in Troy. They just wanted to get it out of there. I did own a better one. I was the owner of a 3-way neck machine. I bought a whole bunch of equipment from the fitness center at the Wyalusing school. They were upgrading their fitness center tremendously, and I got a good deal. I bought all the equipment. Well, I didn't have any place to put it, and I asked if there was any rush in getting it out of there, and they said no. Well, something changed along the lines, and what happened was they were sending out memos saying, like, whoever owns this equipment needs to come and get it. I guess my name was left off of some paperwork or something like that. They didn't know who bought it. I wasn't getting the memos. So what I was going to do is have this gym here in Wyalusing on Main Street. I was going to have a gym at the house. I was going to have a gym in Towanda in my friend's barn. And I was going to do like different days. And I had enough equipment just by buying that fitness facilities equipment that I could do all of those gyms. What I was waiting on was that barn to get finished at my friend's house. And once that was finished, I went to the school. I had the key. I went in to get all the stuff. All the stuff is gone. Luckily, I had already pulled out all the plates, all the dumbbells, all the barbells, things like that. I had actually already disassembled all of the other equipment that I could. For instance, there was one of those, they used to call it a jammer. I don't know what it's called now, but basically you stand in it and you go boom, and you're able to.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It like slides up almost like a not like a U shape, but it almost like slides up.
Yeah.
Like a lineman firing off the line for football or something.
It's like, that's what it's generally associated with, is training football players.
We used to have one at my high school, like middle school and high school lifting. I remember seeing one at the old gym. And then when we switched schools, they ended up getting rid of it. It was like one of the best pieces.
I know. And I was looking forward to having that. And there was a cable crossover, man. I was ready. I was geared up to hit that. All this stuff, multiple benches, and they just went in with a chop saw and they cut it all up and took it out of there. I missed it by like a week or 2 weeks. So, but they made it right. I don't want to make them sound evil. It was just a mistake. They gave me the, kind of like a percentage-based refund, so it was fine. It's just disappointing because I didn't end up being able to make all those different facilities, because that would have been pretty cool. And then these are Euro pinch plates and inserts that got to go out. Luke was just down here and brought these labels down. So it's a Friday as we're recording this, so unfortunately they're not going to get in the mail, but I do sell Euros if anybody's interested, and turnaround time is generally like a week to 2 weeks. It depends on how long it takes to get the plates, the steel plates from the supplier, but I have the insert materials already, and it just takes me a couple hours to cut them up. So if anyone's interested, especially with the elite totals and things like that in grip sport, that's really brought about more excitement about the Euro pinch. So those are available. You just have to reach out to me and we'll get everything figured out and squared away. But that's the gym. Dude, we could continue for another hour.
No, you're good, Jed. That's fine, man.
I have more equipment downstairs. I have equipment in these totes that are on either side of you. Seriously, it's not like I'm hiding secrets here. I don't use any of the stuff. It's just I have a hard time getting rid of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, Jed, no, thanks for taking us through the gym and giving us some history on some of the pieces and everything. And
well, 10 minutes turned into close to an hour. So
pretty much. You're good, man. Yeah, thank you. Any last words for anybody here or before we wrap up?
I would just say it's something that I've said for years and years. If you're new to grip sport, this stuff is very cool. And I hope that you are in a position where you can buy everything that you want. But if you're not, it's okay to be selective. It's okay to buy just one rolling handle, just one pinch implement, and then grow your collection slowly. That's really all you need to do. You do not have to have all the stuff that I have. I was very highly motivated back in the day to get as much as I could. You do not have to do that. So you don't have to take on some giant expenditure to rapidly increase your grip training repertoire. Get what you need, slowly add to it, and you're going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah, and Jed, with this stuff, we're also talking, some of the stuff you're pointing at, you're talking about getting it in 2003, 2004. Yeah. There's people actively competing in the sport right now that weren't even born when you were picking this stuff up. Not trying to make you seem old, just saying that it's accumulated over time. You don't have to run out in the next 3 months and try to duplicate.
I literally started training at my house with plastic weights that were filled with concrete. And then I was willing to drive very far to get a very good deal. And that was before Facebook. So it took me some time, but I got a lot of good deals, and I was able to add to the collection at a decent pace. Not to mention the fact because I've been involved in grip sport for so long, I have the YouTube channel and I had a website and a newsletter for so long that a lot of these were like commercial samples that I received also. So you have to keep that in mind as well. I just hear sometimes people have feedback that it costs so much to get all this stuff. You don't really need all the stuff. Get what you need for whatever the contest is that you're training for, or the goals that you're working towards. So thanks, Zach. That was fun. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Yep.